good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to today's market review session with EasyFX Academy. And basically, as I'm very sure you know, we have these sessions every Sunday by 9 p.m. And the reason is very simple. We believe that before the beginning of the week, all right, we could just share what exactly we expect for individual currency pairs or individual commodities and just give a sort of oversight of what you should then also be expecting, all right? So that can also help you to inform your decision for the type of trades or the positions you like to take during the course of the week. All right, so we'll be kicking off now anyway. But this is what's going to happen. Today's session is going to be very interactive. All right, so if you have, for example, a question you need to ask, you can just drop it in the main group, right? You can just drop it in the main group and we'll look at it together. Or if you have a commodity anyway you want us to look at together also, you can just drop it in the channel. You can just type it and drop it in the channel and then we'll look at it also together. All right, so without taking too much of our time, how do you say it? I think it's further ado, yeah? So without further ado, let's just go straight into what exactly we have for today. So let's start with the dollar, the US dollar DXY. All right, so as you know, we like to look at individual currencies as it was. We like to look at the indexes for individual currencies to give us an idea of how exactly we expect those individual currencies to act during the course of the week. And now if we look at this is DXY, the US dollar currency index. Let me go to the daily time frame. You see that quite well. We've had some level of range, but if we go down to the lower time frame, before the 2-hour time frame, you realize that locally we are looking bullish, right? What do I mean by locally? I mean that currently for the most current quote-unquote structure that we have, we can see that price has been giving us consecutive higher highs and higher lows, right? So something towards this end. Forgive me. I was something basically towards that end. And if we're still looking at that, then it means that our directional bias should be towards the end of the dollar continuing bullish. Now, if you come to the lower time frame, like the 30 minutes, I'm currently seeing this structure. Forgive me, I rarely use what do you call them? I think candlestick patterns, right? Is it candlestick chart patterns? I think so. But I really get to use many of them. I have just maybe two that I tend to look out for. So this is not one of them, but I know that this is one, pattern that usually indicates, possible continuation. All right, but all the same, I just want you to focus on this. This is going to be my bias for DXY in the course of the week. So I expect that when market opens, we should get to see, maybe on Monday, Tuesday, we should get to some level of weakness from the dollar before an overall buy continuation. All right, but overall, I am quite bullish on the dollar. And I know that some brokers also allow you to trade DXY as a commodity. All right, so basically, I'm looking for buys comfortably from here. All right, this is between 106.696 and 106.542. Again, 106.696 and 106.542 rather. So I'm expecting a buy from there. So basically, what I want to see is market opens, we get to see the drop, and then we get to see the buy from there. Quite simple, right? Again, this is just going to be our point for liquidity to be swept. Price coming to our zone, and then we load the buys, all right, at least, or you load the buys if at all your broker has DXY as a tradable commodity. But I hope that is clear for the dollar. I'm going to announce it again. If you have any commodities you want us to look at together, if you have any questions you want to ask concerning trading as it was or as it is for you, just drop it in the chat section and we'll attack it with all that we have. Right, so let's go on. Let's look at AXY, the Australian dollar currency index. Now, I think for AXY, we can watch out for, so let me go back to the higher time frames. Right, so for AXY during the course of this week, you can also watch out for some level of strength, right, during the beginning of the week, right? Just maybe a short show of strength basically on AXY is what I'm expecting. At least up to this point, this is between 64.66 and 64.35. Right, so I want to see a buy push towards that end and then weakness. So overall, I'm bearish, right? Overall, I'm bearish, but or as you know, rather, in every trend, you have the impulse and retracement. All right, so even though my overall bias is for the bearishness, I'm expecting a bullish retracement first, then we get our continuation for the bearish impulse. All right, so let's just watch out for how this plays out during the course of the week. So basically, this should enter for something like maybe pairs, pairs against the Australian dollar. You might want to watch out for buys, maybe. All right, this is not financial advice. This one I just said now, it's not financial advice. All right, but basically, this is something that you can just have at the back of your mind. Let me just clarify the reason why I said it's not financial advice. When it comes to backing up your analysis by analyzing, when it comes to backing up your analysis by analyzing the individual currency pairs, I want you to realize that there's something referred to as relative strength. All right, so I'm going to quickly explain what I mean by that. Relative strength means that a currency can be strong, all right, but in terms of the amount of strength that it currently has, it might not be currently strong against another, or stronger than a different commodity. Let me explain it like this. For example, let's say you're in the US, right, and the dollar is currently strong. You're seeing it from the chart. The dollar is massively bullish, right? If, for example, someone in Canada also is looking at the Canadian dollar, the chart for the Canadian dollar, right, and is saying that, oh, this guy is massively bullish. Now, would you now say that the dollar should have more strength than the Canadian dollar, or the Canadian dollar should have more strength than, the US dollar, right? Saying that the two charts are telling you that they are massively bullish, all right? So it is in that case that you then tend to refer to it as relative strength. So the level of strength that a certain pair or a certain currency has against another currency, all right? And that basically is what gives birth to the rise of currency pairs. Right, so I hope you get what I just explained right now. If you do not get it, maybe you can just wait for the recording and go back or something. But it's quite simple, really. So just work based on relative strength. All right. So that being said, anyway, that was just extra story for the fun of sharing knowledge and increasing our knowledge base, basically. All right, but for CXY, something similar to what I just explained on AXY, right? I'm expecting a buy to sell movement. I think this was something that marked up most likely on the lower time frames. Yeah, so this is just a pivot region for me, and I'm expecting price to still push up into just a little bit of a buy. All right, and then we get to continue for the overall sell. Again, if we look at the 4-hour time frame from the current structure that we can see on the lower time frame, which is that this guy is still bearish. Right, I don't see a buy to sell off of CXY. All right, so all that is clear. Finally, for the currency indices that we will look at together tonight, we'll look at Gbpcad. And I remember, I think last week we were talking about the fact rather that we're expecting this guy to still drop. All right, so we got to see, excuse me. Sorry. we got to see that guy. We got to see that guy give us a, I coughed once and then my voice, okay, that's come back now. So we got to see that guy, give us a good enough drop during the course of last week, and I think we should still be expecting that to happen again. I just want to see a short retracement, and then we get to continue for the overall sell. All right, so but for this, I have two POIs, and if at all your broker is one is someone that allows you to trade this, as an individual commodity, all right, this is what I want you to do. There are two POIs I want you to focus on. First one is between 6566 and 6536. Second POI I want you to focus on is between 6672 and 6627. Now, the reason why I have two POIs marked out here is very, very simple. Number one, this first one is actually a pivot region, which I tend to usually watch out for. However, one thing I'm very, very careful of is where liquidity rests. What I want you to know for a truth, all right, beyond all the lines that you draw on your chart, I want you to know that the thing that moves the chart, the thing that makes price respect your lines or your zones is liquidity. Liquidity meaning that there might be orders that have been set in place at that point to push price in a certain direction. So if there have been orders at a certain point level to say price should sell, or sell orders, or maybe even sell limits, or maybe even whatever it is, right? It is most likely that when price gets there, you will see some level of, reaction. All right. So for me, I want to watch out for a sell from either year or year. Now, what I will tell you again, if you have a broker that allows you to trade this as a commodity, please, by all means, make sure that you practice proper risk management. 1, 2, I want you to watch out for entry confirmations. All right. So in this type of cases where I get to have like two POIs or AOIs or ZOIs, whatever you're comfortable calling it, right? What I usually do is watch out for entry confirmation. So I might not enter immediately. I might watch out for whatever the candlesticks tell me when they get to that zone. All right. So for example, one thing I usually emphasize a lot on is the use of rejection candles, right? Some people also focus on, engulfing candle pattern from engulfing candle formation. So whatever you get to see, some people also use, I think it's called a double break of structure. There are many, wonderful things that you can use as your entry confirmation. So by all means, make sure that you are seeing that maybe at either of these zones, and then work based off of that for the sell. All right, but I hope that's clear for the Japanese yen basket, Gbpjpy basket. So now we can go into the commodities that we have for today. Personally, I am not going to be looking at much for this week. Reason is very, very simple. Right now, I am relaxed. All right. One thing that you notice is that the movements that you might be used to in the markets might not be as prevailing as before, and that's because I think I said it last week also. A lot of guys have currently closed out their books for the year. All right, many people have taken up, they've closed their trades for the year. Not many, quote unquote, all right, as it was maybe previously. Not many of the big players might currently still be on their positions on different pairs or different commodities. So I want you to relax. All right. I know that you might want to, rush to make December money and have a dirty December or a clean December or whatever you want to do. Please relax. Keep your capital. It is very important, right? So, all that being said, anyway, let's look at gold first. And I think for gold, sorry, the story I just said right now is just because I want you to realize that market structure will be. You might currently be going through a phase where it feels like you don't know anything in the forex market because market structure might not be responding the way you're used to. All right, so that's why I just had to say that before we continue. All right, so for gold this week, I think I'll be expecting some level of bullishness. All right, for gold this week, a very most likely short buy on gold this week. Yeah, most likely a short buy. Very, very simple. My overall POI very large, as you can see, and I'll try my best to simplify it anyway. Is around 2645.98 and 2628.32. Again, 2645.98 and 2628.32. That currently is my overall POI. As you can see, it is very massive, very massive. And one thing I'm going to be doing in this wise right now is to relax. And I'm not flying, I'm not rushing anywhere. All right, and I'll advise that you do the same also. All right, so one thing I'm going to do is to probably wait for price, as you can see, to possibly come towards the 50% of my POI, which is around that will be around let's say 2636 2637. Let's just put it around 2637.21 or so. All right, so I want to watch out for basically price to come to the 50% of that region before I have I take in my buy positions really. All right, and the overall idea is very, very simple. I'm seeing that current local structure is telling me that price is looking towards continuing bullish. All right, even though overall from what I can see from the higher time frames, from the daily and 4-hour time frame, is telling me that this guy looks bearish. All right, but we've just seen that currently I just broke, I think that was probably on Monday or Tuesday. We just saw that price broke out of this range here. Right, so it broke out of this range finally and gave us a high that was higher than this previous high, actually, just a little bit higher. All right, and then it tapped into this. I think I've marked out this region for months, right? This has been quite some time right now. This was November, okay, so not months necessarily, but like a long time, right? So, and price actually just came to tap into it. So I'm expecting price to continue bullish now. I think right now what price is just trying to do is to come back to the region that actually caused this quote unquote break of structure. So something like this, a break of this high price is just basically coming to that candle or that region that actually caused that break of structure towards the upside. So that basically is what I'm going to be watching out for on gold during the course of the week for reasons to buy. All right, and what I would advise in that wise rather is for you to also watch out for something like that on lower time frames. All right, like I said, this is quite a huge zone. You can either work with 50% or as a retail trader, you can just, especially if you're a scalper, all right, maybe just go to the 5 or 15 minutes and then work based off of your own entry criteria. Look out for zones where you get to be or where you'll be able to take up trades and then minimize your risk. All right, and I'm very sure this should be quite a profitable move for us during the course of the week. All right, so that being said, let's go on. Excuse me, I think we've used quite some time on just gold, imagine. All right, let's go on. Let's look at Gbpjpy, Gbpjpy. Know what I mean? All right, so for Gbpjpy, right, I'm starting on 4-hour time frame. Again, you can see the local structure is telling us that we are currently bullish. All right, so this I'm just joining it for the sake of joining, I guess. So something like that, right? So I want to watch out for reasons to enter for buys. Now, let me go back to the 4-hour time frame. Currently, I have a supply region around here, which I believe, and I have every reason to believe that price should still come up, either as it was, price should still come up that far into that zone. So basically, I'm watching out for a reason or a place for me to enter for the buy that will then take me towards that region. And then that is actually what is allowing me to see this point around here right now. It's between 193.399 and 192.856. 193.399 and 192.856. Again, you can decide to work with the 50% of this before entering for this trade, but I am believing and I am hoping, all right, that this should be something that we get to see play out during the course of the week. So a sell to buy scenario basically is what I'm expecting on Gbpjpy, selling to this zone that I gave the coordinates to earlier. Then we get to see the buy, and we should be good for GJ during the course of the week. So I hope that is clear also on GJ. Next up, let's look at Gbpusd. I think similar. Let me go to the daily time frame. Let's start from there. All right, so daily time frame, we're in a massive demand zone. Price gave us some level of push towards the upside again, and we're going to see that price gave us a little, just little little break here, right? So basically what I'm watching out for again is for price to come down a bit, give us that retracement, and then we get to continue for the buy. All right, and in that wise, I was just watching out for this region here. This is between, I have so many things drawn up on this chart. I think I need to probably later, but basically coordinate for my POI right now is between 1.25798 and 1.25221. I'll come again, 1.25798 and 1.25221. All right, that currently is the region I'm watching out for buys to happen from. So basically what I'm expecting, similar to what I just said on gold, I think. Was it gold? Yeah. And also GGA, I think also. All right, I just want to watch out for a short, then we get to the buy. All right, so sell into this region, then we get to the buy, and we should be, good enough to continue for quite some time on that. So that is clear also for GBPUSD. Next up, let's look at CAD CHF, and I think I just saw something that looked, somehow interesting to me, and that's usually I'm not so much of a trader of this commodity. I really don't bother myself with it so much, but yeah, I just saw something interesting I wanted to share with us. So basically, I'm watching out for a buy from here. Right, I'm just watching out for a buy from here. You can decide to, wherever you get to enter, get the buys from rather. You may just decide to work with the previous high as well, take profit. But basically, I'm watching out for this massive zone here. This between 0.62495 and 0.62330, 0.62495 and 0.62330. Again, you can work with the 50% of that region and then take up your buys. Of course, I also advise if you are using your stop losses during this period of time, I want you to realize that the market is seeking liquidity. I'll say it again, market is seeking liquidity. All right. So if you are one who is or let me not say it like that, let me put it like this. Make sure you are as precise as possible with your entries, and make sure that you are as magnanimous, quote unquote, as possible with your risk management. All right, so make sure you're not risking too much, and preferably, I want to tell you that you should put your, of course, I will usually say it anyway, put your stop loss a little bit below, because this is one of the seasons where you actually get to see that you might have marked out a zone, marked it out perfectly, and price to basically just come to sweep the low, all right, where you put your stop loss before going in your direction. And I don't want you to get, that if that happens to you like 4-5 trades, after 4-5 trades, you will get hurt. It will be emotional damage. You understand? I don't want that to happen to you, basically. So sell to buy scenario basically is what I'm watching out for. We work with either 50%, or maybe you can go down to the 5 or 15 minute time frame, lower time frames, and get up your own entries for the buys. But basically, this is what I'm watching out for on CAD CHF for this week. So again, I hope that's clear. I hope that is clear. Let me see what else we have. Let's see Gbcad. So like I said earlier, I really do not have much to share. After Gbpcad, I basically only have like 3 more commodities that I'll be sharing with us. But if at all you have any commodity you want us to look at together, just drop it in the chat section and we will. All right, so again, this is Gbpcad. So I'm starting from daily time frame because I want to just show you what we are seeing right now. Overall market structure is looking what's bullish, right? So it means that we should be looking out for reasons to enter for buys. And for me, I think this is a very interesting point to watch out for a buy. Why? Number one, for this is a pivot region, all right? This is a region stuck in between the pivot. And if you come to the 4-hour time frame again, you notice that this also correlates to the last point where we got to see the last area we got to see high taking out in this case here. Right, so I want to see price come towards that end. All right, so we have some level of resistance, all right, which then might have become support, so which is the basic definition that you might have for pivots in general. But basically, I want to see price come into that region and then we get our buy. So this is basically something I did from the daily time frame, all right, and I'm just stopping on the 4-hour time frame. So you notice that for some of the things I'm sharing with us tonight, these zones are looking quite large, all right, and that's why I'm advising for you to use the 50% or work based off of lower time frame entries for yourself, all right. But these are majorly swing, general biases I'm giving out here, right? So for this, the coordinate for this zone currently is between 1.78391 and 1.77463. Again, 1.78391 and 1.77463. That'll be the point that I'm watching out for buys of Gbpcad. All right, so that being said, let me see. No, I'm not going to give that advice. I'm not going to give that. I was tempted to say something now, but I think I've cautioned myself to not give that advice. So yeah, that'll be what I'm watching out for, the course of this week on Gbpcad. All right, so third to last, let's look at Euro USD. We've done G, we've done gold, so we look at EU. Then maybe we just look at two other guys, and then we can call it a session. Let me quickly confirm that we do not have any commodities that anybody sends. No, very good. So let's see. All right, so USD, something similar to what we just said on gold and GBP sell to buy scenario. Basically, again, is what I'm expecting. Buy region is here for me between 1.04720 and 1.04539. All right, so the reason why usually when you come to these sessions, you might just see that I'm just telling you this is what I'm expecting, this is what I'm expecting, because I usually do my best to prepare before time so that we won't need to take so much time looking at the charts together. I won't need to take too, because sometimes I prefer to calm down. I want to calm down and do my analysis. All right, so I just want to come here, tell you what you need to know, and then we can be done with the session. Right, so that you not just be like, so this one he has already joined everything. Yes, I've already joined this before this session. Yes. So that when all this one that I'm talking, I see that I'm free right now. I can say anything. I can say almost anything, not anything. I can say almost anything. All right, but basically that's just it. And again, forex trading is quote unquote as difficult as it can be. All right, so try your best to find things that will give you joy. Be free, enjoy your life. That's why I'm not serious in this session. All right, so but for this, USD again, buy zone for me between 1.04720 and 1.04539. All right, so we should be able to see a re-entry for the buys from there, and then you can just work for your TPs. All right, if you're re-entry from the lower time frames, and if you're a swing trader, right, for your TPs you can just be using the the next eyes that you get to see. Maybe you can start from this one. It's like you go to this one, and then as far as your eyes take you, as far as your risk appetite carries you, right? So that basically is what I'm watching out for on EU during the course of the week. Second to the last for tonight session will be GN. Is it GN? Yes, Gbpnz. So again, I'm watching out for a buy from here, right? Let me just mark that out properly. Yeah. So something like this, we should get to see the guy push up, further than that. But basically, this is what I'm watching out for on Gbpcad on the daily time frame. So a sell, then we should get to see buy continuation from there. On Gbpnzd, right? So buy entry or my buy region is between 2.18098 and 2.17200. 2.18098 and 2.17200 basically is my buy region on Gbpnzd. All right, so I hope that is clear. Also, I don't think I need to take too much time to explain this one. All right, last but definitely not the least, let me see what's left on my list. Yeah, Audnzd, that'll be the last for tonight's session. Let me see. Very good. So Audnzd basically is the last for tonight's session, and comes to the 12 time frame. So very, very simple. What I'm expecting is quite simple rather. I'm expecting a sweep of this low, all right, into the demand region, into this demand, and then we get to see our buy from there. And I'm expecting the buy to at least come as far, maybe as here. Let's have something like this, yeah. So sorry, let me just this is a bit better. All right, so basically my buy region or my buy zone or my demand zone is between 1.10124 and 1.09969. I'll come again 1.10124 and 1.09969. All right, so a sell scenario into the buys, and then we get to enter for the buys and take it as far up as here. These are around 1.10829, 1.10829. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, males, females, and all of that. With this yours of mine, I think we have then come to an end for today's session. All right, so this video definitely will be posted.
Hello.
My Oga, good evening.
There's a request on the group for you. Good evening.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get to see that. Thank you, sir. Godson, please can you analyze Gbpad? Why not? Definitely. Apologies, I didn't get to see that. If my guardian notified me like this, it's a log fan here, it's a log on here. All right, so for GA, let's see. For GA, let's see. Okay. Come please. I really need to take out time to organize my I hope I'll do that one of these days. I really hope I'll do that one of these days. So this is one for me. Sorry, give me a minute. This is again the points for me here to watch out for. Let me see if I have any pivots that I might be interested in working out with. All right, so for GA, let me first draw what exactly I'm expecting. Then I'll explain why that is my expectation. Let's put it somewhere. Let's put it somewhere like this, right? So let's put it somewhere like this. For the meantime, let me go to the daily time frame. Let's see if we have, yeah. So that region might be somewhere I want to interact with for now. But I feel like we should get to still see overall price maybe go lower than that. But let's still hold on to that for the meantime. Yeah, so basically this is what I'm expecting on Gbpcad overall. So it sells to this is a very long one. Sell to buy to sell. But this is what I'm expecting basically. I'm currently seeing that price is currently nearing or very close to this current low. So I'm expecting that, and this is a form of support around here. So at the very least, I'm expecting that maybe this last little guy that's just existing here will give price a little push towards the upside. So let me just correct that a bit. So at least we should get to still see a little bit of a push towards the upside from here. All right, so I'm expecting a little buy. So maybe Monday, tomorrow is Monday. All right, so maybe as market opens, right, you should get to see a little bit of a push. But overall, I'm still watching this guy to drop, or watching out rather for this guy to drop as far down as here. All right, so I'm not expecting the buy that we get from here to be anything concrete. So for you might then, I am very tempted to want to tell you to even enter for this to work with a sell directly, because this is it is a very strong hey English, don't forsake me at this moment. This is a very strong supply region, don't mind me. Right, and we've actually already got to see the price broke out of this supply, right, or out of this range rather. Got to see the price broke out of this range, came back. We've seen some level of the testing of the lower boundaries of that range, and it looks like price is going to continue downward. So maybe I should just delete this for now. I think we should watch out for something more towards this end directly. I don't think we should get to see price maybe come back here anymore. I don't personally, I don't think so. Personally, I do not think so. All right, so I think I can just work with this. So I'm watching out for majorly sells on GA this week. So this will be my point for liquidity to be sold from, and then we get to see price come down. So that's basically what I can see right now for the sales from where we are right now. Again, this is very, very simple. I'm saying a breakout of a range, a retest of the lower boundary of that range, right? So let me zoom in so that maybe you'll be able to see that better. Maybe I should go to the 2-hour time frame. Right, so a breakout of this range here, a retest of the lower boundary of that range, which is around here, and then we're going to see that price, though it's stalling, right, we should get to see price fall from there. All right, so I hope that is clear on GA. I think this is what I'll be working with for my overall bias for GA. So what you can do, all right, if you can enter immediately, or if you prefer not to enter immediately, is to maybe work with, look out for re-entries on lower time frame when market opens. You can just look out for re-entries on the lower time frames when market opens. So I hope that is clear, Godson, Mr. Godson. Yeah, I believe he's a Mr. I hope that is clear. I want to assume that is clear. All right, so I think at this moment now, with these shares of mine, we can come to an end for today's session. So please do well. We're going to be dropping this video. I think someone wants to say something. Someone unmute. Okay, Godson, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
All right, wonderful, sir. So this video will be dropped on our YouTube channel. So please do well to like this video, share this video. Again, I think we're going to have our last session for the year on Thursday, and that will be on YouTube. All right, I'll send the link, to here. But like I've been saying for like the last 2-3 weeks, this end of the year, don't lose money. This is not a good time to lose money. I promise you. Keep your capital, protect your capital, practice proper risk management, work with your own entry criteria. All right, just be a chill guy overall. Market is not running anywhere, so you should not run after the market anyhow. All right, and I'm very sure we are going to have a very, very profitable week. Do take care and have a lovely one. Cheers, guys. Good night.